Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
Today we are doing a little energy reading for you guys for the Twin Flame Collective. We are going to pull two cards. We'll let two cards come through and see what's going on. So if you guys don't already know, James is shuffling right now, by the way. If you don't already know, yes, we are basically... we're a twin flame collective. So even though we're in union, we're not going through different lessons than you guys are. We are still going through the same lessons that you guys are going through. We're just going through it on in a different pace or in a different way, because we're going through it together, right? In the 3D, where you guys are going through it together with your twin in the 5D if you're in separation. If you're in union, obviously you're also doing it in the 3D. But yeah, so I just wanted to make that clear that when we do these energy readings, it's also things that we're going through. So all of us as a collective are moving through the same lessons, whether that be, feminine lessons, masculine lessons, both, whether it's about money, whether it's about literally relationships, whether it's about anything. So that's why we do these energy readings, is to, just tap into what the collective is going through and provide some wisdom and advice that, we can all benefit from. All right, so what do we got coming through here? Okay. Drums.
And we'll take this one over here. Oh, 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row, and this came up in one of my own energy readings also. So we're still in this space. Okay, so if you guys can't see, we've got spaciousness and we've got drums. Okay, so is there one specifically that you're feeling called to speak on?
Well, I feel like I spoke on this one a lot more last week.
All right.
So I'm going to leave that one to you, but I'm going to get you to start today.
Okay. So spaciousness. So last week we were talking about, ooh, this is coming in really strong right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So last week we were talking about the space and taking the space and time to process the emotions and to reconnect and to do all of that stuff. While that is still true, what we also need to be looking at is the space to reconnect. Last week it was a lot about, this is so interesting because it was about taking the space apart to process the emotions, to take the space and the time for yourself, for self-care.
Which is what we did last weekend.
Which is what we did last weekend. And now this is asking, spaciousness is taking the time to also come together, to reconnect. And this can be reconnecting with yourself. So again, if you're in separation, reconnecting with yourself. If you're in separation, this can be reconnecting with yourself in terms of your twin in the astral, right? So you can go into meditation and connect with your twin's energy. I used to do this every night when I was in separation with you. Before I would go to bed, I would literally feel your energy behind me, we were cuddling. Yeah, and you would hold the stone. And so both of us would connect to each other energetically in a really strong way. So if you are in a state of separation right now, instead of focusing on the space that you have where you would like to be connecting with them, focus more on making the space for them in your life, right? Making that space, saying I'm going to have this partner that, or using the visualization. Imagine them cuddling you, imagine them, being close to you. Imagine, if they gave you a token, we gave each other tokens as stones. If they gave you a token, meditate with that, keep that close to you, and make time for this on a regular basis as a routine. You have to keep doing these practices. So this is a calling for twins to make the space and time to come into your practice. And as you guys look at this card, right, there's this little light, but then everything else is dark around it. That means this is you and this is the space around you, right? So you get to manipulate in this pure potentiality in terms of what you want your relationship to look like. You have to remember you are the creator. So you get to be in this space and choose what you want that to look like, how you want your twin to show up in your life, how you want to connect with them.
I should have gone first. So I've got the drums card. So one of the things I learned in the place that we met when I was up there chatting to a few people was the reason why people resonate with the drums so much is, and you know exactly where I'm going because I've spoken about this before, and to me this always resonates very well, because up in the Transkei where we met, the closer people, they play the I can't remember the exact name of the drum. I'll have to find it at some point and I'll put it in the comment if I remember. The whole reason why they play this and why it resonates with people so much and why people come towards it is because the drum reminds you of when you were in the womb, because the drum beat is essentially the heartbeat. So when you're in your mother's womb as a baby, when you're still developing and growing, the one thing you hear is always the heartbeat, and that heartbeat is essentially a drum sound. So that's why a lot of times people resonate with drums to such a deep level, because it takes you back to a stage before you were born, to times were a bit simpler, when you're more connected to, as you would say, the universal spirit, or on a much deeper level where you're connected to the general consciousness on a level that you didn't even have to think about it, you're just automatically there. So as you can see, there's 2 drums and a bunch of people in the background, and we got some rain.
Now we've got our own drum music.
There comes the drums. A lot of times that it brings people together. So in that sense, the heartbeat is the heartbeat of the general consciousness of everyone coming together, and it helps people vibe with one another. It's going crazy above me right now as I'm trying to talk about this. So clearly we're meant to be listening instead of talking.
Let's turn the camera. So if you guys can see the rain right now, you'll see it's starting to soften a little bit. But no, I think I really like the way that you say that, where
thank you,
in the womb, where you were more connected to spirit, and also, like you're saying, the drums as the heartbeat, the drum as the heart, and so allowing your heart to guide you in that space. And I think that's why these two really go together, is because if you're listening to your heart, you're connecting to that space within you that reminds you of that simple connection to spirit. It's going to naturally give you that connection to your twin, not only your twin, but it's going to also naturally give you that connection to spirit, to yourself. And then it's going to give you that ease when it comes to making time for your routine, right? And drums are consistent, right? You get a drum, it's consistent, right? So making that routine consistent, making it something you do every single day. We were just talking about this. Obviously, if you guys have been following us, we have a 4-month-old baby. And so she has taken up, bless her, she's taken up all of our time and energy collectively. And so we just talked today about reconnecting, and how are we going to reconnect on a regular basis, and what practices we're going to be doing. So you guys are not alone in this. We're not perfect.
There goes the drums.
And there they disappear. We're not perfect in that. So we are also still discovering new James, new Serena, and new collective energy with Claire being involved. And how do we, give her what she needs, but also get what we need in return, and with each other, and how do we reprioritize our relationship? And I think this also happens a lot when you're in separation, right? This is why, for me, it's foundational that as soon as you get into separation, you start doing the work, because it's really easy to lose momentum. And when you lose that momentum, you lose the motivation to continue on the twin flame journey. And this is why people spend 3, 4, 5 years in separation, because we forget that initial connection is something otherworldly, and we all know this, but it fades in the memory over time, right? And the longer and longer we're in separation, I'm sure we even felt that way, and we were only separated for about 6 months. And so you lose that motivation to stay together, especially if you're in no contact, if you're not watering it every single day. You have to be watering it every day in order to see the fruits of that labor bloom, So that's relationships for you, So if you're not in that space with your twin, if you're not doing the visualizations on your own, then you're not going to see those results, So if you guys are looking for more help in that space, you can always book a one-on-one session with me or with James. The links are below. So if you're looking for more help in that space, please let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.